So many of you will say, oh, that's easy for you to say, Loz. You've got lots of money. Listen here, person who's going to write that. I was on the dole when I started this account. So guys, you might have heard that my much anticipated 3 courses that were once in the squad that have never been dropped on my website will be coming on Black Friday. However, I am giving you an opportunity to pay for them early at the Black Friday price of 20% off on top of the already discounted bundle price. So bundles are normally 10 to 12% cheaper if they're bundled together with 2 or 3 courses. So you'll get that plus 20% off in our Black Friday sale at the end of November. But on October 31st, Halloween and the whole of Halloween weekend, you'll get the opportunity to prepay for these 3 courses early. So there's Thought Transmission in Love, which pairs with Thought Transmission 101, teaching you how to put your thoughts in their head for love. Then there's Become Magnetic, teaching you to manifest what you want without doing anything, just by being magnetic. And one of the most popular courses we've done in the squad in the last year and a half, Change the Past. One person actually watched the first video of that 30 times, they said, in the squad, because it was so profound about what revision really is, the way Neville Goddard taught it, because so many manifestation coaches teach it completely wrong and don't teach you how to change your memories of the past and change your past to create your new future. You can get them all bundled together as a love potion bundle this Black Friday and start paying them off in 4 automatic installments this Halloween weekend. You can also get these 2 courses, Change the Past and Become Magnetic, together as a mini bundle called Reclaim Reality. And then there's another mini bundle of Thought Transmission in Love and Thought Transmission 101, my original Thought Transmission course, bundled together, called the Transmit Love Bundle. Okay, guys? So many of you have wanted these courses. You've been begging me, especially to bring out Change the Past, for so long, because it's over a year ago that I dropped it in the squad. I know how popular these courses were. Become Magnetic taught you guys that you can be effortlessly manifesting and you need do nothing to make it so. And Thought Transmission in Love was really profound about how this actually works telepathically with your specific person. So start prepaying this weekend. It starts 8 a.m. EST this Halloween. So let's get onto the Loz lesson now that we know all about the Halloween pre-sale starting this weekend. Now, so many of you in the Loz lesson suggestions in the squad this week have asked about money manifestation. Money, please. Money, money, money. Money manifesting. Winning a large sum to clear debts versus bankruptcy when moving forward financially. What else? Big money for large projects despite being broke. Manifesting money and dream home. My God, so many of you talking about money in here. Now, obviously, we all, are aware that in the world right now and in, the US and the UK, blah, 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 there's a lot of talk of, pending recession or inflation or cost of living crisis. I want you guys to get any of those thoughts out of your mind. Because when you think that way, you become that way. Now, what do I mean by that? You become a person who is involved in that. If you honestly think there is a cost of living crisis, you'll be involved in the crisis. If you think you are a person who is affected by inflation, you'll be affected by it. If you're a person who is fearful of a pending recession, then that recession, if it does occur, will affect you financially. I know personally that my dad makes money every time there's a recession. He thinks the opposite of the way other people do. Do you think the opposite of the way other people do when fearful things happen in the economy? Probably not. And if you don't, you're just going along with everyone else. You're going with the flow and you're becoming one of the masses, the fearful masses. And if you know anything about the stock market, you'll know that the way people make money on the stock market is that people buy high and sell low. Why do they buy high and sell low? Because they get on the hype train about a stock that's going up and they feel they're onto a good thing. And then as soon as the price starts going down, fear gets the better of them and fear rules their mind, and then they sell at a loss or sell without getting the gains that they once anticipated when they were buying high. And the people who make money in a stock exchange crisis or a recession are the people who are scooping up all the stock the fearful people sold in a panic. So it doesn't matter what's actually going on in the world around you, in the 3D world, regardless of economies, recessions, job loss, whatever it is. If you get caught up in it and you decide it's true for you, it will be true for you, and you'll be one of those fearful masses selling off your stock. You won't be one of those fearful people worrying about the price of groceries. You'll be one of the many and not one of the tiny few who take advantage of economic crises. Do you understand? Now, so many of you will say, oh, that's easy for you to say, Loz. You've got lots of money. Listen here, person who's going to write that. I was on the dole when I started this account. By the dole, those of you in other countries don't know what that means. I was on unemployment benefits. Okay? When I started my coaching, I started making so much money in the first couple of months that I had to stop the unemployment. And they said to me, we can still pay you, but we'll just pay you less. And I said, no, please don't pay me anything. Because I was too afraid they were going to ask for all the money back. I went from earning nothing to earning like $10,000 a month, right? Now, that was huge for me at the time. Now, my costs have increased so much that if I earned $10,000 a month, I'd probably cry. But you've got to understand, I now am employing a whole lot of people. I literally have the livelihoods of 12 people now underneath my business who rely on me for their living. Now, hopefully those people in my workplace have caught on to the way I teach, and they are not a person who would sit and watch the news and get caught up in the fear of impending recessions or inflationary speak or a cost of living crisis. They would realize that their concept of themselves should be different from the masses, and they no longer need to think that way or be fearful of those things. Hopefully enough of you have watched me to know that I did not allow my circumstances at the time of living in a crummy house and being on the dole to stop me from doing this account. Hopefully you've watched enough people in my groups win lottos, get their debts paid off. Like there was a girl the other night on our live. No, what was it? We were doing a live and the girl said, literally, I know what it was. It was our Mentor Monday. And one of our mentors was telling a story about how she was in debt, and all of a sudden she was given $100,000 out of the blue. Not just like $10. She completely manifested that to pay off those debts. Okay, you guys understand? When you know this, when you understand this, you no longer think the way other people do about money. You no longer consider money a problem. Okay? You no longer talk about money as a problem. You no longer even watch the news or be affected by it because you know you're creating your own reality. So if you watch the news, it will affect you. So Neville Goddard speaks of not watching the news, not reading the newspaper. Now, back in the day, everyone read the newspaper in his day. But now people are chronically online or chronically in front of the news, 24-hour news stations. I never have a 24-hour news station on in my house, ever. If I see the news coming up, I turn it off. The only time I ever used to see the news was when my mum was in an old people's home and they'd have it on. I have such little, knowledge of what's happening in the outside world. I don't even know what the weather's going to be because I don't watch the news and I don't have a weather app. So if it starts pissing down raining and I put my washing out, I didn't know that was going to happen. I have no idea. The amount of times my staff walk in with umbrellas and I go, is it going to rain today? And they go, yeah, of course it is. And I'm like, I didn't know. I don't pay attention to the outside news. I don't need the news. I create my own reality, whether it's with money, love, relationships, work, career, anything else. Are you creating your own reality, or are you allowing what other people say the reality is to affect you and create a reality where you're fearful, like with money? So the first thing I would suggest you guys do is disconnect from anything to do with money. Now, I do have a money magnet course, and when I put this on YouTube, I'll put it here. I remember a friend of mine was visiting from over east, and she was talking about her money problems. And I said, do that course. It's actually a self-concept for money course. And she didn't really know what I meant. She rang me up in tears and she said, oh my God, this is like all of the things coming up for me that my parents used to say about money and their old money beliefs. And I didn't realize I thought this way. I see what you're saying about this is a really deep course about your concept of yourself to do with money. It's not just like manifest money course. So if you really have some issues in this area financially, that is the course for you. It really should be more an advanced course and a much higher fee than it is, right? Because it's a really, really in-depth self-concept for money course. Because so many of you don't realize the beliefs you hold about money, and they're long-standing, and they probably came from your parents and caregivers and the way you grew up and what you experienced as a child to do with finances, to do with what you weren't given or what you couldn't have or what got taken away from you. So if you find that you lose money all the time, you'll probably realize your parents had a pattern of losing money. I know that was in my family. If you have a fear of money going away all the time and you scrimp and save because you're so worried it will go away, you probably have a pattern there from your life that you don't even realize was there. If you find it hard to make money at all, or feel that you won't be promoted, or feel that you won't be appreciated for your work, there's self-concept issues there that you need to work on. I also have a booming business course. If you are starting your own business or have your own business and can't understand why it's not working, I use the principles that I use to build this business in that course. I want you guys to understand that everything is mental, including money. People say money is simply energy. It's not energy. It is based on your thinking like everything else. It's a reflection of you. It's a mirror of you. It's not energy. Everything's energy. To say that money is energy and that's the way to explain it is like the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Everything's energy. This cup is energy. My hair is energy. My breath is energy. Guys, they're atoms. Of course, it's energy. That's a stupid way to explain it. So people say it that way because they say, oh, it's just energy. Because it's just energy. If you change your energy and get in the same energy as money, then you'll be on the same energetic field as... What the fuck does that mean? What's happening out here is a reflection of what you think about money. Your deep held beliefs about what you deserve, what you'll get, and what you'll keep. It's not energy, it's reflection, just like every other manifestation that manifests in your world, like love or anything else. So if you don't understand that, I highly suggest you either do my self-concept course to uncover your self-concept in all areas, or you do Money Magnet, okay? And then we also have Change the Past and Become Magnetic, which are two very, very strong courses about changing your memories of the past, and then Become Magnetic's about, now that I understand manifestation, I'm not going to do anything to make anything happen. I'm going to magnetize it. So if you want to change your memories of your past with money and your parents' past and how you grew up, and money loss and not being able to earn and not being promoted and not being appreciated, Change the Past will really help you, especially if you've got really long held beliefs. And Become Magnetic will help you to magnetize money towards you. And you can start prepaying for them this weekend in the Halloween pre-sale. Woo woo! And they come out Black Friday at 20% off over Black Friday weekend. And once you've paid these off in 4 installments, you will get them on the Black Friday weekend on November 28th. All right, guys, join me for the Halloween pre-sale, and I will see you soon. And thanks so much for watching and subscribing. And I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.